Hello everyone, also Klaus here, and today guys I'm going to review a Megabloks Dragons set released exclusively in Europe in 2006, and it was a part of the Metal Ages subsim, and it's going to be the Norvagen Destroyer, so the fourth boat in the Dragons sim. Just after the Manowar, the Venom Ice Fang, Venom Ice Fang, and the Firewind warship. So as you can see, you have the box, which is quite big. Of course, you will have the usual Megabloks Dragons Metal Ages logo with a nice chrome background, the information like the edge and stuff like that. And of course, the bot itself, the warriors, the dragon, and some play features which is closed up right there. Then on the back, you're going to have other close-up of different play features. Well, some are not really play features, but that's not really important. And some play features of the dragon this time, and then the 4 warriors that you are going to have in this set right here. Here you can see the boat and the dragon on a neutral background, as you can see, so with just orange-ish background, so you can clearly see the details and how it is made. And also a little description that I am going to read right now. So, an armada of Norvagen warcraft sails valiantly into battle amid the clashing Odaku and Draga armies. So, pretty straightforward, I guess. And here I got other sets released in 2006, and this one was also released exclusively in Europe, unlike this one, which was just released in the US on the other hand, and the other sets were released everywhere. So that said, let's move on to the instruction booklet next, which is not really that interesting because of course it features the same illustration as the front part of the box. Some parts list, of course, if you lost some parts you can order them for free. Description and the 4 warriors, how to build the dragon, and then how to build the boat, and I think that will be all. At the end you got the same thing as the back of the box once again. So now it's time to talk about the figures, and first the minifigures, the 4 warriors. So first the Draga. So remember, we first know the Draga back in 2003 with Crystal Wars, and well, they made a comeback of course with the Norvagen in 2005 with the Metal Ages subsim. And well, the Draga in this set is quite weird because unlike the other Draga from Metal Ages, first, it do not have the same body armor. In fact, it is a Norvagen body armor, this one, which is quite weird. Well, at least an old Norvagen body armor, so it's quite weird. And also, it doesn't have a bright, shiny gold color. As you can see here, it's gold, of course, but it's not that shiny at all. So it's quite weird that Megabloks decided to, do this type of stuff. And of course, the head is not a new mold, it's an old mold from the previous Draga. So, but, well, I think you already know that. The same can be said also for the weapon. And in terms of articulation, well, 1 point of articulation per shoulder, 1 on the neck, and 1 per legs. And there is no articulations on the ends, unlike Lego's minifig. And also notice that before that, most of the Dragon's minifigs came with a magnet in their body to some play which helps with some play features, and in fact, from 2006, Megabloks decided to retire the part, so this means these 4 guys do not have any magnet in their body. That's one thing to know. Then let's move on with the 3 Norvagen, and once again, a little strange thing is that the Norvagen were, when they were released in the Metal Ages subsim, they were dark metallic blue in terms of color, and this time Megabloks decided to give up on the nice paint effect and just recolored them in kind of a blue color, as you can see. So of course they have the new Metal Ages body armor, which was used by the Norvagen, the other Dragas, and also the Feywild, so all the good guys overall. Notice the 2 studs on the back also. And for the rest, of course, arms, legs, and heads, it's the same as before. So no new mold once again, but a new recolor. So it might disappoint some people who want to have a perfect army with all the same colors. But well, yes, Megabloks have another idea about that, I think. So well, that's the 3 Norvagen. So okay. Quite a strange color once again, so quite like the Draga. And the last little figure is a what? which is quite a premiere in the Dragons universe, because most of the time, in the Dragons sim, excuse me, because most of the time there is no little figures or no little details, and so it's quite cool. So you got, of course, the 2 points of connection on the back, and as you can see, the mod is well detailed. And that's let's move on to the Dragon now, which is a typical Metal Ages dragon, as you can see. So for those who do not know, the thing you really have to know is that they wear some type of armors, and they each represent a type of metal. So for example, as you can see, this one is gold, I guess. Well, at least the color is gold. And for the rest of the skin, it's going to be some kind of black, dark green, I guess, with some metallic effect. Quite strange, and also gray used on the spikes. But one thing to notice is that all under the body of the dragon is going to be all black, which is quite weird, because the previously released Metal Ages dragons got their back colored, well, at least this part colored, and well, this time it's not, so maybe some cost reduction, I guess. Well, I don't really know. But well, now in terms of parts and articulation, so of course you're going to have, well, you're going first to have the body. And as you can see, we got 4 studs, got a soldier on it. Then we're going to have 2 front arms with 1 point of articulation right there, on the like that, up and down, and also on the elbow, up to 90 degrees. Then we're going to have another part to have 2 rear legs with just 1 point of rotation this time. Then the tail with 1 point of rotation, kind of. The wings, which are linked right there, with 2 points of connection this time, so like that, and up and down. And finally the head, which can be turned on the side, like that, and also, of course, the mouth can be open. And once again, in terms of color details, the tongue is not painted, it's just all black instead of red. And I think that's quite all for the articulation. So it's really an average Metal Ages dragon, because for example, it will use the same body as a the same body and wings as a 4-legged Metal Ages. Excuse me for this little glitch, guys. So yes, but all the parts are
used for the from the 2-legged dragons. And that said, that's also, it's quite a classic dragons, even in terms of color. It's not really an interesting recolors, because, well, this type of colors was already used before, so it's a cool dragon, it's okay, but not really that new. So if you already own Metal Ages dragon, you will not really be surprised, and of course, if you do not own any, it will be a good dragon, I think, in terms of articulations and design. Also notice, this all right there and here. It was supposed to hold some Dragon's armor, but Megabloks did just release Dragon's armor in like 2-3 sets, and they give up, so it's not really well, you can still put some armors, but well, there is not that much. That's what I want to say. Excuse me. And that said, now we're going to talk about the bot itself. So unlike the previous Megabloks bots, which were really big and sometimes quite empty, this one is really smaller, but is really well more detailed in terms of parts. There is more parts, there is less empty space, and that's what we're going to see in this review. So first, we're going to link together 4 hull parts. So this one, this one, this one, and this one. Notice that the cannons, right there are fake, of course. So they are not real cannons. You can see just a decoration. They are fake, and also notice that also this type of part is fake, you can't put it up. But one thing to notice is that, as you can see, we have some holes in there, so I guess maybe this part exists individually, and you can put it right there. So of course it will not really be useful, because the cannons are fake, but still. And also you have to notice that maybe this hull was taken directly from the Pirates sim, which was an old sim from Megabloks, which do not exist anymore. That said, well, so you got the hull, then you got this brown part right there, which will be used all over the place. So you're gonna have 6 of them, 3 on each side. And now it's time to take a look at the inside of the hull, as you can see. So first, we're going to link 4 pillars, which will be used later on. Then we're going to link
this part right there, this big brick, which will be quite useful first to link this part, which will be useful to attach the mast and the mainsail, also to attach this steps right there. Notice also that the steps here are not on the other side, so it's an asymmetrical design. And well, you can also notice some longer steps right there, you can see. And I think that's maybe all, if I'm not mistaken. Well, yes, I think that's all, the steps, the thing for the mast, the brick, yes. So now it's time to look at the rear part of the ship. So we're going to make it with 3 pieces of walls, as you can see, with a big window. So in fact, most of the parts in this set are not new. In fact, I think there is no new parts in this set, but most of them are new recolor. So that said, let's move on. So the 3 walls part, like I said, then we're going to link 2 of these parts to make some place for the figures to stand. Notice the hole plus the blue ladder. So yes, in terms of color scheme, you got some classic colors like the brown, the different type of bronze for the wood part, and then you got silver color and blue color. So that might not be really cool because there is no paint effect on it or anything. It's just blue, bam, splash in your face. So it's quite it's maybe it might not please everyone in terms of color scheme, and I can understand that. So yeah, the ladder which will be linked right there. So of course the guys just have to well, to walk upstairs and then take the ladder to go in front of this thing right there. Notice the 2 torches with red transferred flames, which are pretty cool. Of course, the little parts right there, and the metallurgy parts, like for example, the spikes here, which are also used on the sides and on both sides, as you can see here, there, and there. They are linked like that, if you want to know. Then other type of spikes used right there, or spines. Notice also that you have a 2 ways to connect this part, so if you want to put it like that, you can, or you can also put it this way. So it's quite useful for mods. And finally, this part on the back, which can also be linked upside down if you want. And well, this part is nearly done because we have some things to complete. First, so things that I totally forget is this part right there. So with this part directly molded into the brick, which will be attached up there, so to link the 2 sides of the boat, which is quite a nice idea. Then we're going to link some flags, so Norvagen flags, of course, which will be put right there. And finally, this part that we have already seen, which will be linked here. And that said, it's time to keep on. You can notice also little details with this part, well, even if they are red, of course, but at least they're here, because it's well, it's not usual for Megabloks. Well, at the time, it was not usual for Megabloks to put little details like this, little parts in their sets. So it's quite welcomed. Notice the anchor, see why it's there, excuse me, which is a new mod. Well, I think it was used first in the Pirates sub-theme, but still, it's a new mod for the Dragons theme. So now you notice these big blue bricks. Once again, there's big parts on the side which are once again not new because they were released in the second bot, which was the Ice Fang. You notice this metallurgy part that we have already seen before, and there's 2 clips right there which will be quite useful. But first, notice this part. You can also see the little statue of a dragon's head. Well, this part will be useful to link the cannon, which looks like that. So once again, a mold from the Pirates theme, I think. And of course, we have a bright red button. Just have to push it and it will fire the missile, which works quite nice. Excuse me. So we're going to link the cannon right there. You can make it turn or make it goes up and down. Finally, we're going to link the Dragon's Head, which is not a new mod. It was first released in the Portal of Fire set, but with a different color scheme. Here it's just silver and blue. There is no paint effect. And you can notice that in the Portal of Fire set, there were eyes, in fact, right there. Yes, there was, excuse me. There was eyes here. and they put them off, which is okay, but you can still see the point of connection, so it's quite a little ugly, if you want my opinion. I think they could just have let the eyes on this thing. It would have looked better. That said, notice the 4 pillars from the start, where we're going to link the cell, the jail, which can be of course open like that. And here we go, and finally the last part is the main cell. Well, in fact it's also the only cell this time, so, well, you've got of course the mast right there. Notice this part, well, the mast, then the point of connection here, this part, the main cell, and then we're going to link this part of course to put minifigs on it, the flag also, and this elastic part right there. 4 of them. Notice that 2 of them goes through the main cell, which is pretty nicely done. And well, we're going to just link that on the silver part. Take all these parts and link them, excuse me, like that. And here we go. The Norvagen destroyer is finished. So here you can see a little, excuse me, just some dust. So yes, you can see the front view of the Norvagen destroyer right there. So of course the head can be opened to reveal the cannon if you want. And then you got a side view right there, which is also quite cool. And that said, well, that's all. So I'm just going to put all the guys together, all the elements of the set, excuse me, together, and then it will be time for the sum up. Like that. First the Norvagen, then our lonely Dragger with his watch friend, and then the dragon itself. Yeah, like that. So here we go. So in terms of, well, a sum up, well, like I said, it's a smaller board than the previous released one, and in fact it's maybe a better one, because even if it's not as big and maybe not as huge, in fact, it still got more details and more parts put into it, and it really makes a nice board. So first, well, let's talk about the figures. 4 of them is not that much, once again, but still they are quite interesting, even if, like I said, first they come with no shields, and also they all got different colors or different body molds used, so it might be disturbing for those who want a perfect army. But once again, personally, I like this type of stuff, so it's not really a problem for me, but I think that for some people it might be a little problem. But well, that said, classic figures in some new colors, so well, still cool. So we got the dragon, which is a mix between previous Metal Ages dragons. Even the color scheme is not really that new or anything like that impressive. So in terms of, well, the dragon itself is quite cool, the articulations are nice, but if you, like I said, if you already have a Metal Ages dragon, you will not be impressed by this one. But if you do not have any dragons that which look like that, it will be just fine. And then the board. So let's recap. First, on the rear part of the board, we got all this Metal Ages part, the little tower, I can say, right there, the thing to control the board, the flags, the flames. Then we got this little part which links the 2 sides of the board, the ladder here, the jail right there, of course the main side with these 4 parts, which really looks nice in terms of design. Then we got this Metal Ages part, and finally the dragon's head at the end. So overall, it's a great board with a lot of details. There is not that tons of problem or complaints with this set. I think the quality control is okay. I do not have had any problems. And like I said, unlike the other bots, this one do not have any empty spaces or stuff like that. Plus, it got some nice, interesting little parts. So overall, a great bot. And if you have the chance to stumble upon this one on eBay or Amazon, well, it's quite cool because it's a nice alternative from the 3 other Megabloks Dragons bot, which were quite big, of course, quite impressive, but sometimes also quite empty. So, well, I think it's a nice alternative. I can just recommend this bot because I really think it's a great one and a nice take on another take on the on Megabloks bot, which is not just huge and uselessly empty. And that's all, guys. So if you have any questions or comments or criticism, post them in the comment section of this video review. I will happily answer them. And that said, well, hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and see you later for another video review. Bye bye.